This is Thurl Williams. This is week 5 of Microbiology 225. And what we're working on this week is biochemical testing for microbial identification. This is carbohydrate fermentation testing. I've already started by cleaning off my area and preparing my workstation just to make sure I didn't run out of time doing this. I've already labeled all of my Ventol red tubes. I started off by labeling them and putting them in the slots here. And I started off with glucose. So this one is labeled with epidermis glucose. This is also epidermis, and this is fructose. And this one is epidermis, and this is the mannitol. And I did the same thing on this side, but this one is the S. cerevisiae, starting off with the glucose and fructose and mannitol. I have my active cultures that I've already started weeks ago. That's also labeled and ready to go. I have each of my tubes for my glucose here, my fructose here, and my mannitol here. I have my scissors, my light, I have my pipettes here, and I also have my derming tools that's already in the alcohol. So I'm going to start off by first lighting my tea light. So we can start off by sterilizing the tubes. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which is the epidermis glucose. And this is my glucose here. And what it calls for is that we put half. So I'm going to put half in this one and half in the S. cerevisiae. That's hard to pronounce, but that's where we're going to start. And again, it calls to run it over the heat. And well, they want us to remove the top from the S. cerevisiae first. So we'll start with the way they want us to do it. So I'll go back and I'll take this one. So what I'm going to do is run it over the flame just to sterilize the top of it. So we're just going to do it a couple times. Then I've kind of shaken this up just so I can hopefully get it open and just where it's not clumped. I'm going to have to, it's not as easy to open as I thought it would be. So we're going to open that up. What we're going to try to do is just get half of it in there. I think I managed to get half in. Make sure the top is on there in order to sit it back down. And then again, I'm going to run this over just to heat it again before I put the lid back on it. Just going to make sure I get that down in the solution there. So that one again is the S. cerevisiae. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next one, and because it says just to repeat with the same remaining thing. So this one here also calls for glucose, but this is the S. epidermis. So again, I'm going to take it and just kind of run it over the heat. And hopefully this time it'll come out a lot easier since I've already opened it. And this is the remaining of the glucose, so I'm going to go ahead and put the remainder in there. And that's all of it. So I'm going to heat it again. Put the lid back on it. Shake it up a little bit. Make sure it's in there and let that one sit. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the fructose. So you see this one is labeled for there, and this is what's going to go in that tube. So again, I want to make sure that when I open this, it's not going to be a struggle since I'm going to be holding it in my hand. So I'm going to take the lid off of this one, running it over the heat again. And again, what you want to try to do is just get half of it in there. It's kind of hard to measure while you're pouring, but I don't want to put too much. I'm scared I'm going to shake too much in there. I'm going to put the lid back on just a little bit, just so you don't spill out while I'm trying to get this one ready. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shake it a little bit, make sure it's in there. I want to settle down to the bottom. And I'm going to get the other one also labeled with the fructose. And again, still using the fructose. I take it off. I'm going to sterilize the lid a little bit. And I'm going to put the remaining in there. As you can see, that was all of it. Close that up. Heat this one more time before putting the lid back on. And shake it up again to make sure that it's off of the side and into the tube. Now I'm going to see if I can get this where I can get it in the camera. It's always a challenge when you're trying to do this and videotape yourself. This is the remaining one. And this is the mannitol. And here is this solution. So again, I want to try to get it down so it won't be such a challenge trying to get it out. I'm going to take this off and heat that up a little bit. And again, we're going to try to put half of this vial in here. This one is kind of clunky, so it's not moving as easy. So it could be a little bit more of a challenge trying to measure to get the right amount in there. Not coming out as easy. I tried shaking it to see if I can prevent what's happening now, but I guess I didn't do a good job. Anyway, we're going to heat it again just to get it a little sterile before we put the lid back on. I'm going to shake it, make sure that it is in there, and place it back in the holder. And last one, we're going to do the same thing. Just heat it up Now we're going to put the last of it in. Went in a little clunky, but that was the end of it. So hopefully the measurement was good. There's no more left. Again, we're just going to shake it and make sure that it's in there. Okay, so while all that's sitting, what we need to do is remove all the tubes from the alcohol so that they can dry. We're going to insert the darn tubes into each fennel broth vial so that the opening is pointed down. So what's going to happen is when we put it in, if you can see the tube, the opening is here. So when we put it in, we're going to drop it down, okay? So since I did kind of touch that opening, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe it off. And I'm going to take them out so they can start to dry. And the best thing to do is to try to do it where you don't touch the opening. Try to handle it, I guess, as little as possible since you want to try to keep it kind of sterile. But it's going to air dry. And all 6 of them will be placed out of the alcohol. Making sure we get all the alcohol out. Just kind of shake them a little bit to get it out. And they want it to air dry, so it's going to take a few minutes because I'm sure we're not supposed to fan it to dry it any quicker. So we're just going to let it air dry. And then we're going to move the pipette from the alcohol, and we're going to air dry that. So and after that's done, then we're going to put some of our active culture into the vials along with the tubes. But because of the time frame that I have for videotaping and being able to upload it, I'm going to have to try to end it so I can get it uploaded in time. So the next of this would be reflected in my lab report and on my reflection. Okay, thank you.